Hey guys, what's up? It's Karl, and typically right now you should all be seeing CES coverage, but since it is now virtual, the first time that I actually haven't gone to CES in I think 7 years? I know most of us are stuck at home, and for example here in Toronto, we are back under lockdown, so I thought it would be no better time than to do my annual or yearly condo tour guide. I know that it's one of the most popular vids on the channel, and we have a new little addition to the fam actually. Probably the main reason why I'm doing this video. Introducing you guys to the new little member of the family. This guy is a 8-week-old mini golden doodle. His name is Link. Obviously you know that I'm a huge fan of Zelda, and I'm sure he'll be making an appearance on the channel. He's a bit tuckered out as we just took him for a walk. Link, you wanna say hi? Maybe he's a little scared of all the lights. Hi. And I'm sure across the rest of these videos, you'll see him more and more. I plan to bring him to the studio every day. And the reason why we got him, we are no longer traveling, as I'm sure you all know what's happening in the world. So we just wanted a little buddy to keep us more company. And I'm sure we will see him keep growing as this channel kind of continues. Back to the condo tour. Okay, so we're here inside. This is where we spend most of our time, obviously, when I'm not in the studio. We're living in downtown Toronto, if any of you guys didn't know. And we'll start off first with the area that we're kind of in right now, which is the living room / kitchen area. This is the largest room in the place. I love that it's open concept and all in one space. So behind me right this way, this is where we watch a ton of our TV. That is the tech living room setup. The TV that we actually have hasn't changed in I think 4 years as well. So it is still the 100-inch Hisense 4K laser TV. It's an ultra short throw projector, so the actual unit lives right next to the wall, which is always nice. You don't need to have something hanging from the ceiling. The reason why I haven't replaced it yet, I just haven't found anything that kind of matches its quality. And one of the main reasons for that, it actually comes with its own projection film or its own little built-in screen. Most projectors that I've tested, which I've done a ton over the past couple of years, don't really come with that, and it's just meant to be viewed off of the wall, which is fine if you want more of a mobile unit, but if you're using it as your main living room TV setup, having that screen makes such a difference, and it helps reflect the image to make it brighter, and that's the main drawback of short throw or projector TVs. They're not as bright as your traditional LED or LCD panels. Obviously, that makes sense. And I know that Hisense has actually come out with newer models since then, and 4 years ago when I did get it, that used to cost $10,000. The same model has now come down in price to I think around $3,500. So still on the pricier end, but you really see how tech becomes cheaper as production comes easier and it becomes more readily available. I'll kind of leave every budget option, but the one thing I would suggest if you don't have a projection screen, just having a blank white wall definitely helps a ton. The soundbar option that I'm using actually came out last year at CES as well, so I've had it now for the past year. It's the LG SN11 wireless soundbar, and this is actually one of the first soundbars that comes with a wireless surround sound speaker set. So that's useful if you want to keep your cable management on point, because mine has always been one of my biggest banes. So I've got one by the couch and the other one off to the side to kind of complete that surround sound setup. It obviously isn't as good as dedicated surround sound, but for a plug and play option on a soundbar, I think it's still one of the best, even a year down the road. The laser TV is then flanked by all of my accessories. So on the left-hand side, of course, have to get some bits of Lego, just like my studio. I like to have some here in my home as well, so that's a TIE Fighter. And on the right-hand side is the next-gen console of choice, which I still think is the best seller or the best option to get. It's the Xbox Series S, because most people's TVs are still capped at 60 frames. So unless you're on a gaming monitor, I still think it brings the best value. And I might be slightly biased because I am Team Xbox. Cannot wait for some of the new Halo games to drop. And I kind of love the contrasting white finish because my furniture is mostly in black. So I'll leave the links below. It's from a company called Caligaris, and it is quite a bit pricier than IKEA stuff, but I think if you invest into quality furniture, this stuff I've had since my first condo when I first moved out of my parents' house. So that's 8 years ago now, and it still looks pretty much brand new. So highly, highly recommended. And beside that, I do have my Google Nest Audio, as most of my place here is integrated with Google Home as my main smart assistant. And that's pretty much my TV console area. You can see little bits of accessories off to the side. So for example, I've got a Dyson lamp. That's kind of our go-to reading nook. I think our dog has an affinity for nooks as well. He's always passed out, sleeping in that little spot. And to the opposite side of that, actually right over my shoulder this way, we've just got a little day bed. That's where we usually throw our leash. Obviously, we had to get that in orange. And beside that is actually a small little side table, and on there we have the Google Nest Hub Max. So from there, we can usually spot the time. In the morning, we typically ask what the weather is. Maybe we listen to some news. It's one of my favorite accessories that Google makes. It's super minimal, and underneath there is the addition of our dog bowls. I think our dog eats out of bougier plates than we do. We are sadly those dog parents. Coming back further from the TV, we've just got a standard coffee table. It's in the same acid etched black finish as most of the furniture here. Usually I've got my Xbox controller on there, the remote for the TV, and that's pretty much it, maybe a candle or two. The rug underneath, which I know so many of you have asked because it's in all of my stories, I snagged it for around $120. I think it's the best value piece of furniture that I've got. If I can leave the link, I wish I could buy another one, as we had a little puppy accident the other day. It happens. The little guy peed on it. And further back behind there, the L-shaped couch. If there is one piece of furniture that I would say spend the extra money on, grab a decent sized couch. It's the one place we all like to lounge on. As we are spending so much more time inside, I have parked my butt on that thing for countless hours. And once again, I try to match all of my furniture in kind of a gray, black/white. It's a bit monotone. So that's why I try to hint or spice it up with some bits of color. We've got an orange throw blanket. Coming in further this way, the dining table, maybe my second favorite piece of furniture. I think it looks straight up dope. It looks like a marble finish, but I think it's actually made out of ceramic, so it's more durable. It's way easier to clean because my kitchen over on this side, so that actually has real marble. It is the biggest nightmare to keep clean. There are so many marks on the countertop. If you leave a glass for more than 12 hours, you'll see the little rings. It is a nightmare. So I know for the future, if I ever remodel this place or get a renovation, or even in my future house, stay away from marble. It looks nice, but it's the biggest pain in the ass to keep clean. It's just a nightmare. And coming on to the final wall of the living room, which is almost like a duplicate of its counterpart wall on this side of the camera, just on a smaller scale, we have another TV, but it is the Samsung frame. It's a 55-inch TV, and the whole point of that, excuse the dogginess in all of this video. But the point of that TV is to replicate a piece of art. So usually when a TV is off, it's just a black box. It's a bit of an eyesore in the room. So the frame instead looks like an art piece, and the nice thing, you can actively change it when you're a bit bored. You can even add photos if you want, so don't be surprised if you saw a little photo of this guy up there soon. I've also got a stereo pair of HomePod speakers and the Land Rover Defender in Lego Technic. Once again, another piece of Lego in my condo here. And over my shoulder this way, we've got a plant, the only one here in my condo, and I have managed to keep that alive now for 4 years. If I can water that thing successfully and keep it alive, hopefully I can keep this guy alive too, and hopefully not forget to water him or feed him. All right, go to mom, say what's up.
Pass off. Can you pass me that ball?
I will. Bye. Okay, so from there, that is kind of the end of the living room area. Let's actually swing this way, which I think is the key selling point of this condo. One of the main reasons why I got it was to have a balcony space. And I have been blessed with a almost 800, 900 square foot balcony this way. It has saved us in lockdown. Especially this summer when we were under lockdown, we spent so much time on the balcony. It has been such a blessing to have. I didn't think I would use it that much, but literally every single day we were out there, and I know that balcony space in Toronto is such a premium. We just feel super blessed that we have a space this size, so we try to utilize it almost every day. day. I can guarantee Link will be out there. We can run him around when we want. It's got its own built-in barbecue, a pizza oven, which we actually haven't even used yet. And on the opposite side, it's this nice little gazebo / cabana area with cushions that you can chill in. We did obviously remove them now for the winter, but one little addition that we did make, we did string up some nice little LED lights around the cabana. So at night, it becomes this cute little spot to hang out in, and I will risk my butt to get some B-roll shots to show you guys what it kind of looks like. Definitely worth it. Okay, and swinging on from the living room into the master bedroom, for any of you that have watched the channel now for over a year, know that this used to be my studio spot before our actual studio, what we have now. I cannot believe that I used to record all of my YouTube videos from this room. I used to have my lighting equipment. I used to have all of my desks. It is almost nuts to think how I managed to fit everything into this tiny room. And of course, I feel so grateful that I have a dedicated space to record videos. But if there's anyone out there watching this that is starting off their YouTube career, I have made videos or made YouTube content out of a bedroom for close to 6 to 7 years before I upgraded to my own dedicated studio. So keep up the grind, keep up the hustle. It pays off eventually in the end. But this is where a lot of the magic used to happen. The YouTube magic, I mean. Now I guess it's maybe where some of the real magic happens. This is now our master bedroom. So you can see behind me, we've got a standard queen size bed here. Most of the furniture here was provided by a company called Rove Concepts. So it's in the same finish to get an overall theme. So it's in a walnut wood finish with a lot of white accents to make sure everything kind of fits that same minimal theme. Once again, links will be left down below, and Link's cage, maybe that's why we named him that, is also off to the side so he can sleep in our bedroom. We can keep an eye on him. He's got his little Link / Zelda shield to kind of keep him company. We've got 2 nightstands, which are pretty minimal of tech. We try to keep the bedroom kind of tech-free, or at least as much as we can. So my girlfriend is actually using the OnePlus wireless supercharger as well as her Apple Watch charger. I did not ask her to rock this case. Clearly, she helps support the channel, so that's always nice. Over on my side, I've got the Logitech powered dock, so that helps charge my iPhone. It can still charge my AirPods and keeps my Apple Watch charged. It's one of my favorite wireless charging docks as it kind of completes the trifecta. If you are in the Apple ecosystem, once again, highly recommended. I think it's super minimal, one of the cleanest looking docks out there. I've got a BenQ reading lamp and one of these smaller Nest homes. I think it's great for just checking the time. It sounds off my alarm every morning, and it's actually the same matching set as the one I've got over in my living room. Off on this side, I actually used to have an 85-inch 8K TV. I think some of you saw that setup. We actually decided to get rid of the TV in the bedroom. We kind of wanted to keep the place minimal of tech, like I mentioned, and I think it was a bit of an eyesore. It kind of gets rid of all of the nice window space that we've got on this side. So now we can still kind of see outside onto our second little balcony. We actually have a little pee pad for Link if we need to wake up in the middle of the night. He's still a puppy, so sometimes he uses that spot. We don't have to go downstairs, take the elevator at 4 or 5 in the morning. That's never fun. If any of you are dog owners, you probably do know the struggle of living in a condo with a little pup. Further kind of behind the camera, that's where my lighting setup used to be when I used to have my studio here, but now we just have a clothes dresser. Same kind of walnut wood finish, and the only maybe pieces of art that I put up on walls, I let my girlfriend decide that. She actually went to Oxford to take her master's in physio, so that's super dope. I do have a bit of a fear of putting paintings or wall art up. It's once again one of my weird little obsessions. Maybe that's the reason why I have the frame over on the other side, so I can actively change the art. I find it tough to put something that will live on the wall forever and you can't change it. Maybe just one of my little flaws. If we go down further through this hallway, it's actually where the master washroom is. Not too much to kind of see in there. We are blessed though with a ton of cabinet space for our clothes. We've got a small little walk-in closet where it's kind of overstuffed with a lot of my Nike gear. Our washroom, I don't think has any tech inside other than a small little Google Mini speaker and a smart scale. I don't think most people have tech in their washrooms, but you'd be surprised the weird stuff you see at CES. But maybe the one thing that I'm trying to convince my girlfriend to upgrade to when I've traveled to Japan, you guys have the greatest toilets. They're usually heated, they talk to you, they have built-in bidets. I would probably sit on that toilet for an hour to 2 a day if I did have one of those. So maybe for my next washroom tech upgrade, expect to see a Japanese smart toilet. Right, Link? Okay, so onto the final room of the condo, which is on the opposite side. This is the second bedroom, and this is actually where I used to sleep when my original studio was in the master bedroom. So I have spent a ton of time here, actually. It hasn't really changed too much, so I've still got my original bed here. Behind me though, I did make a little makeshift office. So I put my older iMac Pro, you can see the setup right here. And it's actually living on a 12 South riser, which matches the space gray finish perfectly. We've also got the Say Techie front-facing dongle because iMacs have that internal flaw where all of the ports are on the back. This just makes putting SD cards, USB ports way easier through the front. One thing that I am looking forward to though this year is the upgrade to the iMac Pro with hopefully that new M1 chip. I'm sure you guys have heard me rant about how good the Mac Mini is, the MacBook Air, and even the smaller 13-inch MacBook Pro. Cannot wait for the iMac line to get the M1 treatment. Honestly, just can't wait for that new refresh iMac. I would not be surprised if we saw a design change as well, getting rid of some of the thicker bezels. I know that there have been a ton of leaks and renders online, so stay posted for that. That is kind of the end of this room, and we'll kind of finish off back in the living room, so let's hop in that way now. Okay, so that has been our 2021 condo tour. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Link will probably say goodbye. Can you say goodbye to the camera? You're still camera shy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I know most of us are spending a lot more time indoors, so that's why I decided to do this quick little video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I will go take this little guy for a walk, and hopefully you guys see him in more of my next episodes. Peace.